So happy 2025. Let's very quickly look at what we've just left behind in 2024 and what I think are going to be some of the key points in 2025 for geospatial and geospatial 2.0. I think that 2024 was a time of new. It was a time of much conversation about digital twin, around AI. We're starting to see augmented reality spoken about a lot more, 3D, 4D, so lots of new stuff. I think that 2025 is going to be a year where we start to actually see this commercialization of this new. So what does it actually look like? I think there's going to be four or five big topics that are going to come up this year in the world of geospatial 2.0. I think the first one's AI agents. You're going to hear a lot about AI agents. What I see those as are really that generative AI way that we can ask geospatial questions and have an agent go off and do all the hard work for us. So it'll call on algorithms in the background to get answers to questions. So we're going to see the very early start of that one, and I think that's going to be a driver behind generative AI, behind geospatial AI. Second piece is, I picked up, and I hope you saw the work of Niantic. They've introduced the idea of an LGM, a large geospatial model. There's a new company called World Labs. Fei-Fei Li, who's a well-known academic, is behind that. They're starting to look at that in depth, and again, I'll talk more about this in time, but they've spoken about starting not with an LLM as an AI agent is, but really starting with geospatial data in the same way that Niantic have. So not working in a single, sort of a linear way, one-dimensional way like an LLM does, but in a multi-dimensional way. So they're going to be starting to train models in a very new way. So that's really, really interesting and very, very exciting. I think there are going to be the AEC sector, I believe, is going to see some very, very important innovation. I think there's going to be, I wouldn't say a war, but I think there's going to be more focus on bringing the AEC world into the world of geospatial, given that context. I think Esri are very involved in that. Bentley certainly are, Autodesk, there are others in that space. So I think the expansion of geospatial is really going to grow into the AEC world. It's kind of long overdue. I think there's also going to be a shortage of geospatial people with particular skill sets. I think now we've got all the technology, it's now our time to commercialize it, like I've said, and I think we're still in a place where we lack people that can tell proper stories about the value of geospatial. Too many people start with maps, too many people start with data, but it's really about customers, understanding what customers want and really being able to build back into the technology and back into the data. So I think there's a skill shortage at the moment, and when I look at job adverts, I'm seeing this, where we can actually bring people that understand geospatial, but also are leaning towards the commercial side of things as well. The last point, and I'm going to cover this in more again in future talks, is this is going to be the start of smart glasses and augmented reality. I know this is still on the edge and we've not really got into that world, but if you keep up on things, and I'll share an article on this in the next week or so. Niantic NVIDIA are now talking about building smart glasses. So all the big companies are talking about smart glasses. That means augmented reality. That means bringing the digital and real worlds together in these glasses. And I think this is going to be the new interface. So it's worth watching this space. CES is going on at the minute in Las Vegas, so I'm sure there will be a lot of stuff down there that will be announced that will be new to that space, but as geospatial people we should be really keeping a close eye on that. So there's my 4 minutes, longer than I anticipated, but I think there are 5 things there that are really going to be key things in 2025. More to come from me on this stuff in the future.